How's it everyone? Jacques from Dapper Shaves. Welcome back to this channel and the rainforest. This is a wet shaving educational channel for those that don't know. So you'll see wet shaving, education, equipment and so forth on this channel. You won't see reviews. So with that out the way, also appreciation for the community. So first of all is Kirk. Thank you very much for your donations you've been making to this channel. It's much appreciated. Also for those of you that has followed and who subscribed, I really appreciate it. Those numbers do help and make a difference to this channel's future going forward. There's also many quality wet shaving channels around. It's impossible to follow each and every one of you, but I try to see and follow what you guys do. So I want to specifically mention Martin from Shave Tests. Apologies Martin, I hit a blank there for a moment. Martin does, like most of the wet shavers, everybody's got their own approach of doing things, and he's got a totally different spin on wet shaving, which I really enjoy. So I'll put up one of his videos there, go and have a look and then go and support and follow the man. Very entertaining, I enjoy his stuff. So how do you go from making mold to becoming a renowned, well-known razor maker? If you figure that out, you'll get the answer to the razor we're going to use today. But before we get going, people's PreShave. A lot of you have adopted this technique with great success, so please keep spreading the love. We call this the people's PreShave. You don't need to go and buy a dedicated PreShave. Take the soap you've got, rub it with your fingers, massage the skin and the beard, especially the tough areas, which is going to bring me to a couple of questions I've got. So, and for that, I need some eyes. So, when you get ready for shaving, do you just plan the soap and the razor? Is there any other thought that goes into your shaving? Are you getting the results you want? Are you using different gear and different soaps between shaves? So the question is, are you sticking to one setup if you're struggling? Guys, you can only really learn and understand if you stick to one setup and one approach for a time. If you fall around with equipment, soaps, and so forth, it's difficult to troubleshoot when you're having problems, what's causing it, or what's working well. So if you are not getting the results you want, then just stick with a setup until you get the results you want. You will learn tremendously from this experience, and you can then apply what you learn from that in subsequent shaves going forward, and then changing your gear. The beard map. You're not getting the results you want because you're not properly mapping out your beard. One of the reasons I grew my beard this long is so you guys can see the different directions it grows in, and what my approach is in shaving. So those were just some general questions. So here's the razor. It's a Bengal, if you haven't figured it out by now. The Chadmans were malters. They from Derbyshire, south of Sheffield, and they had to reinvent themselves and moved from making malt to moving into the cutlery industry. So this is such a beautiful razor to use. The most well-known Chadman is obviously Thomas Radley TR. And in 1741, I think, he registered the Bengal trademark along with Vivid. If you haven't seen Vivid, it's got a little hare rabbit running, and above it the words Vivid in bold. That is the other brand they made razors for. I haven't made videos in some time. Not in practice with talking, so apologize if I do fall around a bit. So back to the razors. They were malters, got into the cutlery business, and they were making straight razors from 1741 all the way till 1920s, 30s, where they more started focusing on safety razors, which became more prominent, and not too long after that the company ceased to exist. So this is typical vintage Sheffield steel. I really like it. Clean. I call this virgin steel, single source steel. Today, most metals is steel that gets combined from scrap and recycled steel. So it's not a single source or single origin steel. And in that regard, I found that the vintage, well, as I call virgin steel, performs at a different level than the rest of the steels today. And that's hard to believe, but that's my observation. And so this steel, if I've got to take a guess, is around Rockwell 60, 61. So it hones up easy. It takes an incredible edge, as you can see. And if properly honed, really doesn't care what your beard looks like. So that's one pass, essentially a week's beard taken off. We're going to do a second pass just to clean up. The other thing, maybe on this razor, slightly different off topic, horn scales. I did not know this was horn scales until I really started working and cleaning it up. And so this shape of scales and how it's tapered to a thin edge is typical how they made horn scales. And so how do you know if it's horn or plastic? I use 0000 steel wool to take off the finer scratches on scales, and when you get that burned hair smell, that's the first indication that it's horn. So you might be surprised if you've got a couple of razors in your collection. Some of them actually might be horn. Fresh water in here, we're going to do a second pass. Just get some clean water in here. Bengal was one of my first razors I got into my collection. Hence the reason I got more over time and found larger examples. They are stunning razors if you can find them. Lather. Guys, I started by asking, are you getting the results you want? Do you change your technique? Do you evolve your shave? Or is it the same thing over and over again? Lather does make a massive difference with straight razor shaves, not as much with a safety razor. So soap quality, hydrated soap makes a massive difference. If you want your shaves to excel, pick up your lather game. It's not a difficult thing, it doesn't take much longer. And it will definitely make a massive difference to your shave. If it doesn't, or if it does, I'd love to hear, put a comment down. And see what you guys think. So Martin, if you're still watching by now, last night I was at my daughter's concert. We spoke yesterday. So this will give you a good idea of when this was recorded and when it was released. And I mentioned that specifically because it's incredibly difficult if you work full time to find the time to put out YouTube videos. So whenever I've got an opportunity, I'll make a recording, do the editing, upload them, and then schedule them for release. And the reason for that is, guys, people like seeing content on a regular basis. It is impossible to keep up with that trend if you don't sandbag a couple of videos. So that, you know, when you go on holiday, work becomes difficult. That you can continue providing the content you guys want to see. So for those of you that find it stressful and hasn't always got the time to make videos, you know, keep that in mind. As an example, on a weekend, if I've got time, I'll do a honing video and then later a shave video. And so in that regard, I've got 2 videos for the next 2 weeks. The other thing is, I've just gone through 61,000 views on my channel, and I want to thank each and every one of you sincerely out of my heart for that. When I started this channel, the idea was, if I could only help one person or make a difference to one person, I would have achieved my goal. And without being full of myself, I think I've achieved that. And I know that by the comment and feedback I get from you guys. So I really appreciate it. And I would want to continue for as long as I can doing shave videos, educating, or just talking like we're doing today. Right, so post-shave, you should know by now I use unscented tallow soap. Why unscented? The soap, normally the soaps have got fragrance oils in, and that fragrance oils will impact and remove some of the functionality or nourishment and benefit you get from the tallow out of the soap because of those fragrance oils. So Master Soap Creations makes this beautiful non-scented tallow soap, and this stuff is fantastic as a post shave. So we're gonna let this sit on my face, absorb, and then we're going to use a splash. I want to just clean my gear. By the way, the brush we use today is a Simpson's, I think it's an M6 limited edition brush. I was very fortunate to obtain this from a member that culled the size of his brushes. So Denny, thank you very much. This is a fantastic brush. I really love it. That and the Chubby 2, the butterscotch. What else can we talk about? So the razor, fantastic. This one, the bevel was set on a cuticle and refined on a cuticle, and then it got a Dan's black Arkansas refinement, and I'm quite sure you guys can see the results. I'm going to massage this into the skin. I put this on thick like I do every day, and then I'm going to use Fernando's fantastic splash. Today is going to be Bloom. How I know that? Because my setup for the last 2 weeks has been this soap, the same brush, the same splash, and the same unscented post-shave. Different razors, but that's what we've done. Quick trick, my side is getting a bit long and thick. Safety razor, open comb, keep it flat, find your spots, and then you can trim these off to the thickness you want. And there we go. That's one of the things I do on my sides, and then I need to maybe just shorten and line them, and we'll do that with a straight razor. So get myself a good spot. There we go. And this side we are going to do the same. Doesn't need a lot. Just a little bit. There we go. Guys, the razor, I always rinse under cold water, using my fingers to strop the bevel to make sure I get all soap, residue and hairs off there. And then use absorbent cloth, get rid of the water. I always sometimes use a hair dryer too. I'm not going to do that today. Put this to the side where it's out of the way, and then when I'm done here, this will get a proper stropping and a cleaning with a dry cloth before it goes back into my bag. Pasteur Pharmacy in conjunction with Master Soap Creations. This is Bloom. I love this scent. It's a flowery, peppery scent, but it turns into a beautiful masculine fragrance once it gets in contact with your skin and gets the opportunity just to sit there and mellow, if I can put it that way. So nothing spectacular today. I needed to get a video out. I couldn't live any longer with this beard. It's the longest I've been without a shave in years. So that's that. Nice and clean, silky smooth. Happy with this. Thank you very much, Kirk. Once again, you're a rock star. Same with the rest of you guys that subscribe and following this channel. see you on the next one. Hopefully I'll be better prepared for the next one. See you then.